I think Apple is showing us, they showed us that their average sales price has gone up steadily in the most recent quarter. That was the critical question, and it has gone up. I think what you're seeing is Apple is effectively a luxury goods maker. It's owning that category. It's focusing on North America and European customers and getting more and more, as John said, getting more and more revenue out of them. I think a second question is, what does this mean for markets like India and China and other potential growth markets over time? But Apple's doing the very obvious thing in its traditional core markets.
And of course, in addition to the iPhones, expectations for other pieces of hardware as well, maybe new AirPods, a new smartwatch, new iPads. How much will be focused on some of those other items as well?
I don't think that they're going to matter in terms of the earnings, but I do think they matter in terms of the ecosystem, which is, you think about it, what is the average price now? $750, and John pointed to $650 a couple of years ago. The price will continue to go up, but they always do something brilliant, which is they have a lower price phone, which is actually makes the higher price ones seem more valuable in terms of why you would get them, because it's all about the storage, and if you read all this stuff, they're going to have 3 tiers of storage. Storage matters. Having bought my daughter a 10 without the right storage, I heard all about it. Because
she complained, you got her a 10 and she said, "Dad, where's my storage?"
What she said was, "This is incredibly generous. It would have been slightly more generous if it had the right amount of storage, because I have a lot of music and a lot of video on my phone." Look, these things last 3 years, so it's really $300 a year. So would you pay $300 a year for your essential device of your life? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. John, some of these details that appear to have been leaked via Apple's website. I mean, 512 gigabytes, that'll get your attention.
It will, and Apple has tried to get people to move to the cloud, to sell iCloud as a service, but at the same time, there's a core group of Apple customers, Dan's daughter included, who really want to keep a lot of content local, especially if it's video. That's the big one that takes up a lot of space, and they're willing to either pay a premium or have their parents do it. Either way, that is margin for Apple. I think one of the most interesting things to watch for is if we in fact see a suite around the iPhone 10, a good, better, best tiering system where, maybe there's a sub-$1,000 phone with Face ID that looks like a 10, and then there's another that's more expensive, and there's a whole range of storage options. We kept asking Tim Cook throughout the year, is the iPhone 10 the best-selling phone? It turned out to be. Now if they can expand that and make the suite seem like the main option for the people who want the latest thing, hey, that's all margin.
Yeah, you look like you have something to say.
Yeah, so I think that's particularly interesting when you look at the markets outside of the US and Europe. So in China and India, Apple's growth hasn't been great. And in fact, their strategy has been to sell old iPhones into that market. What's interesting about this suite that we're talking about of iPhones is it gives them a lower and lower priced phone with some services and things around it that actually does have some sheen that they can sell at a lower price point in those markets. And if they do that, there is a chance that they could actually make a difference in terms of their growth there.
Well, if you think about it, every company that's a subscription business, which you can debate, software company, hardware company, I think they're a subscription company, because effectively with the ecosystem they built, you continue to subscribe to iCloud, you can continue to subscribe to services through Apple, through the App Store, you can get Netflix through it now, they're going to produce their own video through these things. So every indication, if you were a CEO, you'd want to see, which is units up, ARPU up, yield up. So, I think they're going to have a really good day, and I think they're going to have a really good fourth quarter, because what else is there to buy for the holiday season if you're going to buy something? I mean, they time it right. But also, we have the largest database of students in the country, and it's very clear that we don't like them to do it, but they would leverage themselves to get more iPhones, because the value proposition to them, it's the centerpiece of their life.